testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Just testing the mic. Any viewers out there, I apologize. This is just a test run of the system. We've been having some issues with our system, and I apologize for it. So I'm just testing out, make sure everything is running. I don't think I'm going to do a show today, but let me see. I wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders. But let's play out. Let's see. What's up, Godzilla Megatron? What's up? Don't be sad. I may do a little something. I've been having some issues in the process of moving to another city in New York, and my system has been kind of acting up, so I apologize. But just want to make sure everything is going okay. This is the show that's going to be on Sundays and Wednesdays, the Bobby Brown Show, and random videos will be the Rod Report, and I'm just going to keep it simple like that, and I'm not adding too much to the plate because I do a lot of organizing outside of what I do here with the local unions, and I just started a new show on Facebook called Union Power, which is dedicated to helping unions get their message across to employees, which sometimes is difficult to do. All right, so I'm gonna let this play out and see what I can do tonight. Okay? All right, thank you, buddy.
BOBTV Network presents, broadcasting live from the greatest city in the world, New York City. It's the Bobby Brown Show. And now here's your host, Bobby Brown.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Robert Brown with the Bobby Brown Show, and this is really a test run, so please bear with it, brother. Making sure my lights are good. I think I got too much lights up here, so give me a moment. Again, people, this is just a test run. I appreciate you guys coming on so late, but bear with me. There we go. All right. So let's get going. Anyway, my name is Robert Brown. I am the host of the Rob Report, a brand new show called the Bobby Brown Show. This is supposed to be the format that I'm testing out right now. And then also we have a couple other shows. A little faith-based show on another channel called Winning with Love. We teach people how to love one another, even in difficult situations and circumstances. A little inspirational show. And then we have Big Rob Reviews, where I review it all, from your hot dogs to your grandma draws, to a new show where we focus on the labor movement called Union Power, which is only on Facebook. It will not be here. So I'm going to get into a subject that's been talked about all week. And thank you, JAYZ. Appreciate it, brother. I almost called you Jesus. I was going to say I'm going to pray to you before I go to sleep tonight, but that's another story. Low Key T, appreciate it. Appreciate the intro, bro. The big ups on the intro. And I'm going to make this quick because I know you guys got a lot to do. I got a lot to do tomorrow morning. I mean, a long day tomorrow, working on this union campaign. But I want to talk about this new deal with JAYZ. I really don't have much to say about it. I really don't need to go into detail about it, but you know where I stand on that. Also, Bernie Sanders, Cardi B, and again, back on JAYZ turning into OJ. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. Like I said, this is a test run, and allergies. People been across the street cooking up. There's some kind of carnival and the whole place smells like kerosene, so excuse me. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And so here's the deal. Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders is starting to catch up in some polls. Now, me, I like to tell it like it is. You know where I stand on Bernie Sanders. I mean, as of right now, I have a leaning support toward a particular person, but it's not Bernie Sanders. When I say leaning support, that means I'm not supporting her or him. It means that I see some good things about you, but it's not good enough. Because there's two things that I require when running for office, and I haven't seen many of them do it yet. Only a couple of people who I've seen do that. One of the things is apologize if you participate in this horrible crime bill, and apologize verbally for it. You need to repent for that. You know what repent means? You have to really realize that you made a dumb mistake and it's eating you up, and you need to repent for that. You need to say, I apologize, forgive me, let's start afresh. I was wrong. And I haven't heard that from Bernie Sanders or anybody. And yeah, I heard he got a new crime bill, and I'm looking into it right now. But to me, that is not enough. Before you come up with a restitution or a what we call a forgiveness for what you did wrong, you gotta admit you did wrong. You gotta admit that this was dumb before you try to fix the problem. You can't just say I'm gonna fix the problem when you know you were instrumental in the problem with a simple vote. Especially when you stood in the middle of Congress and talked about how bad this thing was, and you still voted on it. So me personally, I'm not telling you what to do. You know me, I'm not gonna ever tell you what to do. You know, you're a free will moral agent. I'm not a dictator. Me personally, this is where I stand concerning Bernie Sanders. Love the policies that he have, and I can't deny his history in the past, and he has done some things concerning pushing Amazon back on a lot of issues, and I mean, he's done some things. But if you want to be president, bro, you got to do a whole lot of things. Plus, he he support the 10, 20, 30 rule and Clyburn-Burns bill, and that ain't reparations. So you telling me that you're going to support that does not make me move. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't satisfy me, because we don't need to be studying this thing. But let me get off that for a second. Him and Cardi B, and I'm going to show a couple of videos of that, have teamed up to reach out to voters. Let's watch this for a second. I hope this thing play. And this is from the Breakfast Club. Not a big fan of Breakfast Club, but shout out to him anyway.
It's time.
She's spilling the tea.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
Well, Cardi B has released a snippet of her interview of Bernie Sanders. Now, she's been wanting to talk to these candidates and ask them questions that affect all of us. She posted, "What are your questions?" So I know this is long overdue, but here it is. A couple of weeks ago, I asked my followers if you all had the chance to ask a Democratic candidate a question, what would that question be? The topic that was mentioned the most by all of you was about raising minimum wage. I got the chance to ask Bernie Sanders about this, and these are his answers. Keep sending your questions. We will be addressing more of these soon.
Barty doing exactly what she should be doing.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, here is her question and Bernie Sanders' answer.
What are we going to do about wages in America?
Good. Right now, we have tens of millions of people who are earning what I consider to be starvation wages. Can you imagine somebody today earning $9 an hour?
It don't make no sense.
No, it doesn't. And if you have a child, legislation that I've introduced, which was passed in the House recently, U.S. House, would raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. And what we also have to do is make it easier for workers to join unions so they can sit down and engage in collective bargaining and earn a decent living.
Barty doing exactly what she should be doing, and she's reaching out to the people, asking them what they want to know. She has access to these presidential candidates to ask those questions, so why not?
All right, so I'm sure there's going to be more coming soon. I wanted to talk to different candidates, too, I'm sure.
I'm sure she can.
All right, now, Katy Perry, what's going on here? She's being accused of sexual misconduct, and that is by a model and actor, Josh Kloss, who was her love interest in the 2010 Teenage Dream music video. The power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting.
So can he sue?
You know, after I met Katy, we sang a worship song, Opened the Eyes of My Heart. She was cool and kind. When other people were around, she was cold as ice, even called the act of kissing me gross to the entire set while filming. Now, I was pretty embarrassed, but I kept giving my all. He goes on to say that Katy invited him to a strip club in Santa Barbara after the first day of shooting. He said I declined and told her I have to go back to hotel and rest because this job is all I have right now. So he did see her a couple of times after she broke up with Russell. She said, according to Josh Kloss, he said, the one time I bought a friend who was dying to meet her. It was Johnny Wujek's birthday party at Moonlight Rollaway, and when I saw her, we hugged, and she was still my crush. But as I turned to introduce my friend, she pulled my Adidas sweats and underwear out as far as she could to show a couple of her guy friends and the crowd around us my penis. Can you imagine how pathetic and embarrassed I felt?
She pulled them out, so that means people had to gather around and look down. She didn't pull them down.
She pulled my Adidas
Allegedly.
sweats and underwear out as far as, so I guess she...
Yeah, that means out, so she
Yeah.
pulled them out, so people had to go and look.
Yeah, look inside. Yeah.
So he was, the point of him
I don't
telling
ever
the
want to see
story...
you do that action again, all right?
I like detail.
Is he saying that, I just say this now because our culture is set on proving men of power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting.
So can he sue?
I don't know if he's even trying to sue.
Oh, but Kenny.
I think he just wanted to tell his story about what happened.
I don't even think, sadly, I just don't think nobody cares. Like, I just said that just now, and people laughed. If I said that was about a woman, everybody would have been looking down like, oh my God, Charlamagne.
So should he
I
sue?
just don't think nobody cares.
So should he sue?
Now, look, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Give me a moment. Now, I'll let that play a little bit, because this whole thing I want to talk about is how Cardi B, who loves Bernie Sanders, Cardi B, Latino, the LGBT community love her, and she can do some heinous things in the past, just like Katy Perry can do some heinous things not too long ago, and they can get away with this. No investigation, no Me Too, none of that. But yet let somebody like R. Kelly, he's done. And he should be done. Bill Clinton, he should be done. Donald Trump should be done. Anybody who try to assault a woman physically, and when I say assault doesn't necessarily mean that you're attacking them. That's mean when you impose yourself on somebody unwillingly. That is still assault. Now, there's a thing that we do called flirting, and if she say no, you stop. But some people just like to keep going, thinking no mean yes. Well, women do that too. Women do that too. And my problem is, here we are, we got Bernie Sanders. Bad enough you're not supporting true reparations. Bad enough you haven't apologized for the crime bill. But you're going to bring Cardi B in to your mix, knowing that she admitted this. Now, before we go any further, shout out to Vice Show, which is now called the African Diaspora Channel. Big fans of my man. He's doing a great job. But she literally said people must have forgotten what she did and who she is and how she had to get. Now, she's getting ready to remind you on what she had to do to get what she want. Yet, she going to blame everybody but her for being that way. Give me a moment.
So motherfucking survive. Like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me?
All right, so let me stop right there. This is Cardi B. That's why I say Bernie Sanders you got enough problems, Bernie, with the black community, all the black communities. Some black communities going to support you, but a lot of black people community are not going to support you for this simple fact. And I know I lost some subscribers. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to always tell you what I believe is the truth. And if I feel like, if you show me and prove me that I'm wrong, I ain't got no problem admitting I'm wrong. When I said Proud Boys were nothing but a bunch of white racists, I was wrong when I found out there was all kind of colors in the Proud Boys. Do that mean they're not white supremacist organization? I reserve my opinion until I see black people lead their organization and do it on their own without some white person telling them how to run it. So that my opinion, I still hold to myself. I did not admit that they're not a white supremacist organization. I just admitted that they're not an all white organization. They got gays, they got Latinos, they got Indians, they got Mexicans in it, you name it in the Proud Boys. Same thing here. Here we go. Bernie Sanders accepting the endorsement of a celebrity. Big mistake. Nobody, especially coming from the grassroots, needs the support of a celebrity. I don't care who they are. You don't need their support. And you don't need to attach yourself to them. Stay away from them. I'm going to give you the same advice, Bernie Sanders, as I gave Andrew Gilliam and Stacey Abrams. You won your primary without Hillary Clinton, without Bill Clinton, without the corporate Democrats being involved, without Debbie Wasserman Schultz. But as soon as you win your election, you use Bernie Sanders' platform to win. And I got to admit, it is a winning platform because, it's a lot of people that gravitate toward that platform. I will never deny that it's not a good platform, right? I just say it's not good enough for black people. We need a little more than that, but it's still a good platform. So you gravitate the moment you won with that message of Bernie Sanders as what they call our revolution endorsed, Bernie-crat, you lose. Because the world is not just made of Democrats, the world is made of independents and Republicans too. And when you trot out these celebrities, that could be your biggest terrible mistake. Everybody thinks this is a good thing. She has a platform and she can bring in new voters. Look, if Bernie Sanders can't bring in new voters with his platform, why would you want, I don't understand it, why would you want the endorsement of somebody who's admitting to doing stuff like this? She said, I had to strip. Girl, you didn't have to strip. Shout out to my strippers out there. But you don't have to strip. I don't know. I had 2 strippers stay across the hall from me in my apartment complex in Virginia. Good girls, they love my son, and some of them love me, and you know, it is what it is. But they ain't have to do that. You don't have to strip. See, Nicki Minaj, who I am not a fan of, she didn't strip. She worked at Long John Silver's. She took 2 jobs. She went to LaGuardia High School, a famous performance high school. She didn't have to do what she needed to do to get to the top. Now, I don't know how she got a deal with Young Money Records and stuff like that. I heard the rumors, but she's not going out saying that she drugged men. She robbed men and took money. She stripped, had to weave those men in, because that's what a lot of strippers do. They know that in order to make money, it got to be something else done other than what's on the stage. And once you're off the stage, you got to flirt with these men to make them think that they're special to you. And sometimes some women would go home with you and they do stuff like this. You didn't have to do this, Cardi B. You chose to do this.
Yeah, let's go to this hotel and I drug niggas up and I robbed them.
Now, you hear that? Bernie Sanders. I don't care if it was 5 minutes, 5 years. She's admitted to doing this. She said she drugged them and robbed them. Now, I've been through this before. But for Bernie Sanders, this is going to be another big mistake. Is your Bernie Sanders going to bite you in the behind. You don't need to bring her in to win. Let me keep going, because this is disgusting. Because had it been, look, Bill Clinton, Bill Cosby, what's his name, Weinstein, Epstein, all them, those men, they go after them like a hawk, and should. But how come nobody going after the women like a hawk? But yet, you gonna embrace this lady because of her platform and how huge it is?
That's what I used to do. Nothing was motherfucking happening to me, my nigga. Nothing. So for a bitch to motherfucking say that I don't deserve shit, that's when I know that they fucking bugging. Because they do not fucking know the shit that I have to do so niggas could take me out. Because nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to fucking help me, my nigga. No.
So,
all right, now, shout out to, like I said, shout out to my man from the Advice Show. That's my dude. First of all, she's saying that nobody, let me bring me back up here. Let me bring me back up here. All right, so first of all, she said, nobody help me. Nobody help me. You stripping. You a beautiful woman. I seen your old videos before you got discovered. You were bad. You made money. So it's not the problem that nobody didn't help you. You helped yourself as a stripper. You made good money, but you figured you had to get the top studio. You had to get the big money studio so you can get quality product. You didn't invest in your own studio. You took your stripper money to invest into your career. Nothing wrong with that. Stripping is legal. Invest your money. But to go and rob people, to get them drunk and rob them, there's no excuse for that. None. And Bernie Sanders want to bring this woman into her camp. But wait, I'm not finished. The most appalling thing that she could ever say, which pisses me off, is this confession.
Yo, if a nigga cheat on me, I'll be like, alright, I'm gonna take him out, we're gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get him all perked up and everything, we're gonna have a good time.
All right, now, let me stop. Revenge is bittersweet, as some people say. Revenge is horrible. Let it go. You don't need to try to get somebody back for something they did to you. So I got a channel where I teach people on loving each other, because you know the worst thing you can ever do that really eats people up? It's loving somebody. When believe me, I know, because I had a lady who loved me after I'd done her wrong, and I hate it. It ate me up. See, they say unforgiveness is like cancer. It don't kill the other person, it kills you. She let this stuff eat her up to the point that she does stupid stuff like this.
I'm super twisted, then bring a bitch around, we're gonna have a threesome, and when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yep.
All right, so we know the drug of choice for...
All right, so the reason I'm showing stuff from my man from African diaspora is because I can't find these videos, and they kind of hard to find now. But as you see, you heard it from her. She said, if a Negro cheat on me, I'm gonna drug him up. We're gonna get ready. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking good. You know, breasts out there, pow. Butt looking good, pow. He ain't gonna be able to get his hands off me. I'm gonna get him drunk. We're gonna be feeling good. We're gonna go back to the hotel. I'm gonna set him up with one of my girlfriends, which is really a boyfriend. And he's gonna be so drunk, and we gonna break that brother off, and I'm gonna have my girlfriend do this to him, and this. She ain't say all that, but we know what she was gonna do. I'm gonna have him do all these things to her, and then we gonna wake up and say, yeah, I got your back. You had sex with not just me, but a tranny. In other words, you admit that this is foul and nasty and perverted. Not the tranny situation, but you got a man who may not want to be in that situation, only wanted to be with you, and you're going to put him in a situation that he may not want to be in. He may not want to be in have sexual relations with a tranny. What happened to the object of choice? You literally imposed yourself and brought other people to impose themselves on this man, and you admitted it. Yeah, Bernie Sanders, you want to hang out with this person. Oh, you want to do videos and you want to thank Cardi B for her support. Come on, dude. Wrong move. Wrong move. It's like Kamala Harris, knowing she's a prosecutor to the T, accept the endorsement of Bill Cosby or Bill Clinton or Harvey Weinstein. She's probably getting money from all three. But imagine that. Yeah, you're going to have her as one of your chief endorsements. You don't need celebrity endorsement to do what you need to do. As I keep telling you, all you have to do is give the people what they need, and you stop worrying about your vision for America and give them their vision for America, especially in the black community. Especially in the black community. But no, you're not going to listen to me. But you'll listen to, I drug them, get them drunk, I rob them, and I pretty much rape them. And yet we got numbnuts up here, not in this comment section, but I've been on other comment section addressing this situation on Facebook and whatnot, going to try to defend her. Well, that's her past. Well, Bill Cosby thing was the past. I still can't believe Bill Cosby had sex with that Richard Simmons looking woman. I'm sorry, she looked just like Richard Simmons. Stop that. Come on, she looked just like Richard Simmons. Bill Cosby had to be really, really high and drunk to do that. But yet, Cardi B said, hey, we get you really, really high and drunk, and we do things to you that you don't even remember. Imagine that. Somebody can accuse you of raping them, and you don't even remember it because you have been so drunk and so high and so drugged up, you don't remember. How do you defend yourself from that? Me Too movement swooped right on in. How do you defend yourself when you were pretty much out of it? I can't condone this behavior, man. How women can, there's certain women can be predators and people just blow it off. But when a man become a predator, oh, he's the most horrible woman in the world. I ain't got no problem. You can hate me all you want with Trump trying to hit on that woman when he was younger, when he said he moved on her like a bee. Now, I got a problem with him calling her a B, but he moved on her. I see a nice looking lady, I moved on her too. But I don't grab him by the P because I couldn't wait. I need consent. Yeah, I might, we had the movies. We having a good time. She touching my leg, I touch hers, and the feeling is mutual. But come on now. But to grab them by the P, I can't wait, and I'm a celebrity that just let you do anything. You don't know that? No, maybe they probably allowing you to do that because they fear what's going to happen if they tell you no. So here we got Cardi B, the Donald Trump of musical videos and music. Or the bottom line, she's a predator. I'm not a fan of her music. I'm sorry, I'm not. I listen to it. I'm not a fan. She's cute. Don't get me wrong. She's hot and sexy as I don't know what. I do admit to that. But I don't eat pork all the time. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. And it's not good for me when I do. In other words, you can be pretty all you want, but when you're a scumbag and you got slutty ways, and you use your physical body to take advantage of men and women, you're no different from a Harvey Weinstein, no different from a R. Kelly, and no different from a Bill Cosby. Now me, the judgment is still in for me with Bill Cosby, but R. Kelly, I do not doubt that he did these girls this way. I strongly believe it. And Harvey Weinstein, we believe that. Epstein, we know that. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, that's another story, but both of them knew the man. They've been long-term friends of the man, and they both had a bromance with the man, and they both had bromance with each other, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. And y'all sit here and want to play team. Like Donald Trump couldn't have got with it. Well, he kicked Epstein off Mar-a-Lago. That don't mean he kicked him off some of his other property. And of course, I'm going to kick you out when the word is out that you're a pedophile and then you acting like you know me. No, I'm going to get you as far away as we can. That's what you're supposed to do. That don't impress me. But back to her. Bernie Sanders, this is a wrong move for you to take in this as celebrity endorsement. It is wrong, wrong, wrong. So I'm going to stop here before I go to my next subject and see what a lot of people got to say up here. Look in the comment section. Since I don't have the call-in line yet, so let's take a look at what's going on up here in the comment section. All right. Godzilla Megatron, I support black people, and I am Latino. Thank you, my Latino brother. Right, let me tell you something. People always like to label all. And some people don't think they're not in support of you. Look, I'm not that type of person. I always put my community first, but I care about other communities too. But I'm not going to put them before my community first. And that's just the way it is. And I don't expect anybody else to be no different. If you ride around New York City, that's all you see. Chinatown is going to look out for Chinatown. Little Italy going to look out for Little Italy. You name it. They're going to different Jewish areas. They're going to look out for the Jewish, the Hindus, the Guyanians. They're going to always do that first. Don't mean they're only going to do it only. Some will do only, and most won't do only. They know they're in America and we're a melting pot. So I'm going to always look out for my community first, but that don't mean I only look out for my community. And if you don't like it, then you can go to another channel. But let me get off that subject. All right, so Tatiana Harris, hello, young lady. Yes, I didn't fall asleep. All right. She said, yes, repent. My fam got destroyed because of that blanking bill. I'm trying not to cuss, but she's right. All right, so the breakfast slob, yep. That's what my man from, look, you get a chance, go watch my man Jason Black, and you go watch the Black Channel, and you go watch Professor Black Truth. You know, I don't 100% agree with them on all things, but I don't 100% agree with my mother. But there's a lot of things I really agree with what they're saying on some subjects. So get a chance, go check out their show. Some people, you're not going to be able to handle it, so you might not can take it. All right, so let's see who else. Spike Lee dropped Bernie, and now he's endorsing Kamala. He had a fundraiser for. Yeah, Shirley Vick. That is true. Sucker sellout, man. Sucker sellout. Of course, he gonna support the cops. See, I'm in a position where none of them are getting my endorsement. I'm not fundraising for none of them until I see certain things happen. He gonna support the cop that if she was the prosecutor of New York State, some of his neighbors and friends and family would be in jail today. And he gonna endorse her. You know who's next probably endorse her? JAYZ. Now I get on that in a moment. All right. It's good she admitted people need to learn the dangers out there. It's a PSA. All right, now my thing about her admitting what she did doesn't mean, when she was asked the question, if you had to do it all over, would you do it again? She said, yeah, I mean, because that's just the way it was. No, there's no excuse for you doing this stuff. You know how many people stay in, see, I live in the Bronx. You know how many people live in the Bronx that go through the same mess? You know how many single parent with kids? She ain't had no kids back then. All she had to do was be responsible for herself. I got single parents with kids. I'm a union organizer. I talk to women with kids all day, and I'm telling them the need to have a union, which I do agree with Bernie on that. We need to have collective bargaining. We need to have easier card check. We need to have more access to union, because unions move the scale when it comes to pay, benefits, and things like that. Corporate America is trying to offshore or inshore businesses, and when those businesses take over contracts, they end up raping the workers out of what they worked so hard for before they came in. So unions have to go in and fix that stuff. So I'm all for unions. Okay, so I agree with Bernie on that. But for as Cardi B saying that this is something I had to do, it ain't nothing you had to do. It's something you chose to do because you don't want to go flip burgers, because you don't want to clean up bathrooms, because you don't want to take a 8-hour course and become a security guard. Something you chose to do. No, you wanted that money, and you wanted that money fast because, you know, you serve money. God, your money is God. And look where it got you. It got you to the big time right now, but the point is you had to use and abuse a whole bunch of people to get there. And she said to this day, I won't regret it. Which means, how do you know she's not still using and abusing people? You heard about what Katy Perry did to this young man. Just because you hit fame, that don't mean that you still don't have those tendencies to do stupid stuff. A lot of people do. But let me get off this. All right, let's see. All right, so what I want to go to now is this JAYZ situation. So I'm not going to go too much in detail. I'm going to do another video on the Raw Report on that. But JAYZ has supposed to ink the deal with NFL with less than 10% ownership, possible ownership of a league, of the league. Now, if you have a certain percentage ownership of a league, that's a lot. That's a lot. But in order for him to do that, he pretty much stepped on Kaepernick in the movement of taking the knee. I'm going to see if I can pull this information up, talk about this, and that'll be all we talk about. But I want to get your opinions on this thing, because another celebrity that have sold themselves to me. Let me tell you something. The worst thing in the world is not a white capitalist. The worst thing in the world is a black capitalist who eventually will sell out the white capitalist. Jay-Z has always been a capitalist. He started out selling drugs and moving tapes. So those two combination of doing a legit business with the illegal business, that was Jay-Z. And it didn't matter who got in the way, he's going after that money. And you look at the building of Rockefeller Records and the partnership between him and Dame Dash. Once it got to the point where there was an offer on the table for Def Jam to buy Rockefeller Record, guess who Jay-Z sold out? His boy, Dame Dash. Sold him out. Left Dame Dash. Now don't get me wrong, Dame Dash is a smart brother. He's going out there going for his own and building. He's believing in the black community building their own and going back to building their own. See, we got so co-opted in the civil rights movement that we decided to integrate everything. Nothing wrong with integration, but you still need to build your own, bruh. The black businesses in America are dying out while other nationalities are coming here building business. Here I am, I live in the Bronx. I can't even go to a bodega. It used to be the Latinos was on the bodega. Now the Arabs are taking over the bodegas. And I ain't got no problem with that because they're trying to build their community full of businesses. Let me get off that. But the point is, he will do anything to promote himself, Jay-Z. Disconnected from Freeway, disconnected from all the Rockefeller family. But the closest thing that he got to his side is Kanye West, and we all know where that let me be quiet, where he's at. Pretty much tried to get his wife to turn her back on her family, from what I know. Trying to get his wife to totally be up under his umbrella. Remember, his mom and dad pretty much started Destiny Child and Beyonce under their umbrella. And Jay-Z really wanted Beyonce under his umbrella. And anyway, it's a long story. The man is a capitalist to the core. And like I said, the worst thing in my book is not a white capitalist. It's a black capitalist who sell out the white capitalists. And that is the situation going on with Jay-Z and this football deal. Give me a second.
So who? I thought people could sue now if it's something like that.
It was last Friday night.
No. He said, the fear sticks with you when you are censored to protect someone's song. So what's happening? All right. A$AP Rocky, his assault trial verdict is that justice campaign.
All right, here we go.
Doing a music and social.
Go back regardless. It doesn't even matter at this point. I'm not going back.
All right, Jay-Z and Roc Nation have partnered with the NFL. They're doing a music and social justice campaign. So it's Roc Nation and the NFL, and what's going to happen is they're going to work together on the league's Inspire Change activism campaign. He's also going to work on the Super Bowl halftime show. He's a consultant. So there you have it. Some people are speculating that Beyonce is going to perform for the third time at halftime, but who knows?
On the face, I don't see the problem with this because if you want to change something, sometimes the best change comes from within. But I think the biggest issue people have and question people have is they want to know how could Hov partner with a league on social justice when the man who brought it to the attention of the masses by peacefully protesting against social injustice, Colin Kaepernick, is still denied a job by those exact same people. Like the NFL really can't have social justice till they fix that, right?
I'm sure he probably had a conversation, right, with Colin Kaepernick behind the scenes before making this announcement. I would think.
That still doesn't.
All right, let me start right there. Jay-Z being a consultant for the NFL does not mean Jay-Z is owning a franchise. He's not owning a team. The most he'll get is a few percentage of stock ownership and probably be on the board just to please and placate the black people. And this is the problem I got with American in general. Instead of doing whatever you can to bring black people up to the equal rights, and we don't have equal rights. Until the wealth gap is closed, we'll never have equal rights. Until you do that, you're playing us for a fool. You think we're dummies. Well, you got a black man, well, JAYZ, he sits on our board. I don't give a crap. JAYZ ain't doing nothing for me and my community. He's not even doing nothing for his own community in Marcy Park. He'll probably give a some book bags and some basketballs and some uniform. That ain't helping out the black community. That's helping out your former community, bro. This is what it is. So he owns title. So he owns this. So JAYZ, a black capitalist, got all this ownership in these different type of business. That means black people have arrived. JAYZ ain't doing that for black people. Now, if he made an opportunity where black people in a whole can get particular shares into the football league, shares into title, shares into Uber, because he was involved with Uber before Uber became big. If he opened that avenue for not just him, but for all black people, then that would be enriching in the black community. But no, these are opportunities for him to make a name for himself, for his wealth to go past $1 billion, and for him to solidify a legacy for him and his children. That ain't doing nothing for you and your children. And no, he pretty much stepped over Colin Kaepernick in this situation, because what this does is this is trying to pretty much shut up Colin Kaepernick and say, well, as long as I'm on the scene, kneeling ain't gonna do nothing no more. Well, let me keep going.
Nullify the point that, Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job.
Well, maybe he's feeling like the way to make change is within.
I just said that.
And look here, Colin Kaepernick don't need a job right now. He's settled with the NFL for amount of money. His partner did the same thing too. Now my problem is, do that mean you have to be quiet, Kaepernick? Do that mean you can't do social justice against the NFL? What was in the agreement? See, to me, I would have went further than that, man. No. I want you guys to admit I need to have paperwork. I want people to investigate the NFL, find out what's going on, why they treat our players like instead of investment tools, why they treat them like slaves on the cotton field instead of royal jewels. Or what's the problem with their health? You realize that over 50% of NFL players are black, pretty much over 80%. And most of these concussions that they're going through, most of them are from black men. And these concussions are no joke, man. It's really making people mentally unstable. And then when they're out the lead, man, they don't have nothing to do. These injuries affect them to the point where they do unstable stuff. Kill themselves, kill their family. Guys, you don't understand how horrible football is. And to me, I'm with Malcolm X on this. Malcolm X never wanted to buy into white businesses. He never wanted to buy into none of that. Malcolm X always taught you need to be self-sustained. You need to have your own, build your own banks, build your own businesses, build your own schools, build your own colleges. You need to build your own. You need to know your own roots. You need to go as far back if you have to take a trip back to Africa or whatever. You need to know your roots. More than you know chemistry, more than you know biology, more than you know finances. You need to know your roots first. Now, we're not doing that no more. We're selling ourselves out to build other people's businesses and other people's enterprises instead of doing our own. And JAYZ is trying to do this in this situation. Let me keep going.
And I agree with that, but I'm just saying it's hard for I think it's hard for people to look at this situation and say, "Hey, it's a social justice initiative." When
now let me stop here. There's a difference between civil rights and social justice. Civil rights and social justice. Social justice involves the total of society. Blacks, Latinos, Jews, Arabs, lesbian, gays, straight, in its entirety. Civil rights is mainly black people getting to the equal level of white people. Why? Because we pretty much came here almost at the same time. So, and we pretty much built this country. And since we did this by the brute hand of white society in America, who literally ran from a brute hand in England, a brute hand in other countries, since we built this thing together, even if it was by force, we built it together, we should have equal together. That is civil rights. Social justice is just regular equality. I want to be treated just like any other person. Civil rights is saying, not only do I want to be treated like any other person, I deserve the same amount of financial stability as any other person because I helped build this country. I didn't come here as an immigrant. I came here by force. You came as an immigrant trying to flee from Britain, but you brought me, I came here by force to help you build something that's supposed to outshine Britain. And we do outshine Britain, and not to share in on the wealth. That's why I say Bernie Sanders' policies is not enough to close the wealth gap. And it will never be. The only way that can close is through reparations. And that's why we're calling for it to this date. Whether people like it or not, that is not going to stop. Now back to JAYZ and this NFL thing. JAYZ have been hanging out with people like Warren Buffett, hanging out with people like Bill Gates, hanging out with presidential candidates, hanging out with wealthy senators. Oh, he hangs out with the moguls, Comcast, Turner Broadcasting, you name it. That's who we hang out with. JAYZ is going to ultimately become a better version of Bob Johnson, who sold out the entire BET to a white-owned company known as Comcast. And right now, Byron Allen, a black man, former comedian, is fighting Comcast in court right now because he feels that he should have a right to that ownership. Let me keep going.
Colin Kaepernick still does not have a job. He's the person who peacefully protested against social injustice. So the NFL really can't have social justice until they fix that. When they fix that, then they can move on to doing, you know, deals with guys like Hope.
So nobody's gonna be mad anymore that people are watching NFL, because last year everybody banned the NFL, right?
Who's
Everybody didn't do that.
A lot of people.
So
banned
you think
the NFL.
if Colin Kaepernick got a job, then everything's
this wouldn't be an issue at all.
over and done.
Nobody would have any problems at all. They would.
Oh, let me go back to this, and this is what really gets me, and I'm almost done, guys. Matter of fact, I am done with this, because I'm going to do a separate piece on this on the Rob Report, but I thought I should bring this up. Guys, excuse me, gotta get my camera right. All right, guys, see what I talk about technical difficulties? See what I mean? Can't even get the camera right. Guys, this whole NFL thing is becoming a bigger mess than anything. JAYZ think that he is going to be the solution to justice for black, the whole movement. This thing was not about Colin Kaepernick not having a job. The reason Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a job, which you don't need now, and he's probably one of have shares in Nike and probably social justice liaison with Nike. Who knows? Just like JAYZ is a social liaison with the NFL. The bottom line is he did that protest to bring people to the awareness that police brutality in the black community is still extreme. And that is not going to stop with Jay-Z being in the NFL or being on some board or being some advisor on the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It ain't going to stop that. Police brutality is still going to keep going on every day, and there need to be certain laws, certain mandates put in place to stop these police officers from doing that. There need to be immediate investigation. Now, this is where I go and talk about Bernie Sanders does have a policy to deal with that. But right now, he's not elected, number one, and just because he get elected don't mean it's going to pass. Because right now, everybody worried about trying to stop Trump. And everybody's saying the only way we can stop Trump by putting Bernie Sanders, you better do more than just put Bernie Sanders in office. You got a Congress right now that if it goes back to Republican, I don't care if Bernie Sanders is the president. He ain't going to be able to get nothing done unless he executive order his way through everything like Trump tried to do. It ain't going to happen. Get your mind off just the president in the presidential race and start looking at your local races. And the same thing goes here. If you ain't going to do nothing for the black community, why should the black community put you in the office? So Jay-Z sitting on some freaking board and advising the Super Bowl don't mean nothing to me. It ain't going to do nothing for you either. Put some more money in him and his wife's pocket, I tell you. Because this whole thing is a money deal for Jay-Z. At the same time, step on Colin Kaepernick and shut down protests in the NFL against police brutality. This is a con job, and when I go do my next video, you're going to see the con job of Jay-Z doing whatever he can to deflect. It's your boy, you know me, I'm your boy Jay-Z. I got you. We got this. We going beyond that. I can't do a Jay-Z impression, I'm sorry. Your boy. Anyway, I'm done with this, guys. I didn't intend this to be a raw report. I was just testing out the new equipment and whatnot. I had a little bathroom break going on, doing this thing right here. You know, trying
Every
to get the
year,
bathroom
millions
break
of
going.
people face legal and identity theft issues.
So, so let me reiterate, and then I'll go back to the chat real quick, and then we're done. Cardi B, not a good endorsement, Bernie Sanders. This is going to bite you in the behind. She is a predator. And I don't care how much she's trying to shine up by being a superstar and admitting she was wrong and she did wrong. But, a predator is a predator. It's a mentality. You can't admit your way out of that. You got to get some help. Some intervention has to take place. And I don't doubt if she won't do it again. I guess it'll be more so now you got a little power. Now she is a mother. Hopefully the motherhood will calm her down a little bit, and maybe she having a daughter made child do kind of calm you down on certain things, because it happened with me, with my son. You know, I was in a relationship and enjoying myself, and I had, anyway, you'll read that in my book. But I knew I had to stop that because I had a son on the way. I was, a little slimmer. I had some abs, had little muscles, and I back in the day I used to get some women. I'm a little old dude now. And my son came, so I kind of changed my lifestyle and started doing things for me and my son. So my ways changed, but that don't take away the stuff that I did from the past. But she just admitted that she was a predator, and you don't need a predator speaking for you. Tell the predator to be quiet. She could speak for you, but you do just like you do David Duke. Look, David Duke endorsing Tulsi Gabbard, that's David Duke. Tulsi Gabbard ain't got nothing to do with that. She ain't saying David Duke, I welcome David Duke's endorsement. David Duke's a fine citizen. Well, then Bernie Sanders, why you welcoming Cardi B support? Because she haven't been a fine citizen in the past. They say David Duke changed his ways, right? Well, they say Cardi B changed his ways. The fact of the matter is, David Duke has a history of white supremacy and a history of brutalizing and endorsing the brutalization of black people, Latinos, and you name it. And Cardi B has a history from her own mouth of being a predator, and you need to stop supporting that. As far as JAYZ, JAYZ has become OJ. You know, I'm not black, I'm OJ. JAYZ, you're black, bruh. They ain't gonna let you get too far in the NFL. They ain't gonna let you on. You got enough money where you could buy a team. If you cannot buy a team with the money that you got right now, what make you think you sitting on a little committee gonna help you get a team? You think they're gonna reward you a team? Man, get out of here, man. You need to take Malcolm advice. Start a Negro football league. See, the thing about the Negro Baseball League was such a success. It was taking so much money from the national and American Baseball League. It was taking so much money that they had to come up with some way to get black people out of the Negro League into their league. And ultimately, it was successful, and it destroyed the Negro League. Negro League didn't have their money machines there, because those black extraordinary players was bringing in people from all race to watch the game. White people going to the Negro League to watch games, and those American League and Baseball League, and they didn't like that, so they had to find some way to buy and pull away top stars from the Negro League into their league, and that's how ultimately the Negro League got crushed. You need to do that in reverse, JAYZ. Not join them. My mom says it's better to beat them than to join them. And you don't have in it what it takes to beat them. You got all this money, and that proves that money isn't always power. You got all this money, and you're powerless because you won't take your money to start something for your community. You're rather, like I said, the worst capitalist in the world is not a white capitalist. It is a black capitalist who sell out to white capitalists. That is the worst capitalist in the black community. Here you are, you got these opportunities to build something that will bring money into the black community, just like they build money to go into their community. You have something that bring money into the black community, and you won't use it. Anyway, I'm done, guys. I'm done. So let me go to the chat real quick, and then we're out of here. Out of here, baby. All right. Hey, Bonnie. Good to see you. Loyal, good friend. I appreciate you. Tatiana, always good up here. And Shirley Vick. I appreciate everybody. Anthony Reyes, Wise Teacher. I just appreciate everybody being on today. I love you guys. Good night. I got to get ready to go to work tomorrow, and I will leave you with this. You have a good night, guys.
Every year, millions of people face legal and identity theft issues. You can take control of your legal rights and identity with Legal Shield and ID Shield. As a Legal Shield member, you'll have direct access to a dedicated law firm, so you can take proactive steps to protect your legal rights, such as having your rental agreement reviewed, your will prepared, and receiving legal guidance for things like a dispute with a neighbor or creditor. Your law firm can also write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf, and is even available 24/7 for emergency situations. And with the Legal Shield mobile app, you can quickly call your law firm, access legal forms, upload your speeding ticket for review, and have your will prepared. With ID Shield, your personal information will be monitored across the internet, including black market websites and government databases. We provide child, credit, and social media monitoring too. If any discrepancies with your identity are found, you'll receive an alert. You can use the ID Shield mobile app to track your alerts and your credit score. If your identity's been stolen, a dedicated team of licensed private investigators are there at the touch of a button 24/7 to restore your identity. Get the legal and identity theft protection you need and deserve with Legal Shield and ID Shield.
Make it to the bathroom while I use my towel all over myself.